got there. Now this can sound cruel. When we think about this in our Western 21st century mindset, it sounds cruel. What about the children, right? They're innocent. What about the children? Why would we have to drive the children out? Why the women, right? They're defenseless. They're not able to fight like the men. Why drive them out? Understand something. God is warning them not to let any of them stay because their influence, should they be allowed to stay, would eventually destroy them. Even the children being raised in this community, in this environment, had so ingrained in them the evil, wicked practices of their parents and their grandparents and those in their community that none of them could be left there to stay, because eventually that influence would infect this young Israeli nation. It would destroy them. And so, while it sounds cruel and it sounds harsh, this was God's judgment on them for what they had done. They had chose to live in this sin and in this wicked way. And so God brings judgment. And God's in control. God's in charge. Remember something, God can't commit murder, right? He's the author and the finisher of life. He creates life, he takes life. He can't murder anyone. So if God says, drive them out, and if they won't leave, you kill them, he has the authority to do that. He's God. And we don't have to like it. We might think that it's cruel, but he's God. And he can do what he wants. And that's what he says to do. And so that's what they're being called to do. He warns them to leave them there. And he says in Exodus 23, it's a couple verses later, 32 and 33, he says, make no treaties with them or their gods. They must not live in your land. Listen, or they will cause you to sin against me. If you serve their gods, you will be caught in the trap of idolatry. So he tells them plain and simple.